Hello, today we are going to learn about geometry and we are going to deal with lines and several properties of lines. The objective of today is learning how to learn. This gives learners a chance to learn how to learn. The first part we are going to engage with is for the teacher. When the teacher is creating this resource, the first part is for the teacher to change the graphical page to geometry page. So the teacher has to come to the geometry page. You come and get the geometry page, then you click on the page, you get this space. This space will allow you to have many shapes as possible. So we're going to start with a line. What is a line? Then, if you want learners to explore, we can have the lines come into perspective here. So if we can have this situation, then the learners have to discover what is a line by looking at it and exploring further. Then we can name, you can use the OK button here, and then you come to the caption, and then you name the line. That is our line. That is our line. That is what we call a line here. Then what is a segment? You use the same tool here and you get the segment, and then you come here and say this is your CD. Then your CD becomes your segment. So that is how to easily get what is a segment. Then you click. So you place it where it is required. That is our segment. Then the third part, we are talking about what is array. So the teacher should also bring array into perspective and name it. This is what we call array. This is array. We want it to be copied to there. So this is array. Then what next? So the teacher also will be talking about angles. If you're introducing lines, then the learners have to discover what is an angle. If you have two intersecting lines, so this is what the learners have to discover. If you have two intersecting lines, just like that, then you can create an angle which the learners can really discover. So you can see that, like the example we have, our angle is changing as we move the line further away from the other line. As we move closer, the angle becomes smaller. As we move further, the angle becomes bigger. So then from here, this becomes our interior angle. Then the outside part becomes the exterior angle. So the learner has to then find out what is the difference between interior and the exterior angle. We have interior and then we have the exterior angle. What's the difference between them? Then you can differentiate them by having you can change the color so that you can differentiate between the two of them. Okay, so we need the students to see the difference between the two, so that you can have the interior and the exterior angle. So you can name the two. You can name the two. This one as the interior angle. This is the interior angle, and you can make it smaller. We have properties that can make this one smaller, so that you don't have to deal with very large because of the space that we have. Yeah, it can be smaller this way. This one is a bit better. So interior, and then we have the exterior angle, which you can still name it on this side, and then just say this is your exterior angle. This is your exterior angle. This is your exterior angle. On this particular side, you can make it smaller. So you go to the setting and go to the texts. Just make it or medium. It can be medium there, and that is it. Because of the space. So after you do it, that don't fix it. So let us unfix. Don't fix it. That's why it is moving away. That's why it cannot. So unfix it and then move it. So that becomes the angle. So two lines makes an angle. Then we have the connecting point, which we are now calling the vertices. This is the vertex. So students can discover all these, interior, exterior angles, the vertex, because you want them to explore and get the properties of two lines intersecting. So they have to discover that an angle is formed when two lines intersect. So if further the teacher wants the learners to discover about intersecting lines, for instance, or perpendicular, we can start with the perpendicular lines. So if two lines are perpendicular, then the learners have to discover the following. So what happens when two lines are perpendicular? Now, because the line is too big, the line is a bit big there, so we can reduce it by just drawing a segment on top of it, and then we show it. So the learners, through exploration, through technology, they can discover what really happens when two lines are perpendicular. So we need them to discover that when two lines are perpendicular, then the angle between them, so the angle between them here, the angle between the two lines, or the intersection point here, what happens to the intersection point? The angle is 90. This is the discovery. We want them to explore and discover. They explore and discover, and that one can be a very good thing for them. So what about if just two lines intersect? Intersecting lines. Learners can explore on their own that when two lines intersect with one another using technology and the angles that are there, learners can discover so many things when two lines are intersecting. They can come to discover that this angle, the opposite, direct opposite angles, the direct opposite angles are equal. These angles here, the direct opposite angles are equal. And this is what the learners are going to discover with the time. So if at all we can do this, then we are assured that we can have meaningful learning, and then learners will now strive to know how to learn by themselves, either by seeing and by demonstrating certain skills that they need to get from this. Thank you.